Before there was this console war, there was another. What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here for Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC welcoming you to yet another episode of the Good Times Newsline Flashcast. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're not talking about the Sega Genesis Super Nintendo console wars. The Genesis does what other consoles don't. No. We're going all the way back to Gen 2 with Atari and Intellivision. That's right. Atari, as we know from Newsline's past, has purchased Intellivision. So that ending, I guess, the decades-old first console war by just basically becoming friends and absorbing them into the wild world of Atari. So now, what do? When you've made friends and everything's all good and you have all these mini consoles coming out? You got the Atari 2600 Plus, you got the 7800 Plus, you got all sorts of other mini consoles you're putting out with prepackaged games on it. You've got the Super Pockets over there. What else do? You're sitting there and you got your brand new friend Intellivision sitting around in the corner, and you go, well, what about you? What about you? Well, today we have the answer. As rumored and speculated, Atari is indeed announcing a new piece of hardware, and they have indeed, well, not necessarily fully announced, but it's on the website, so I'm counting it. The Intellivision Sprint. It's a new console that is a mini console, but does it have all the features we want in a mini console? Let's check it out. Let's go over there to the Atari website and discuss. Here we go. Introducing the Intellivision Sprint. Experience the other side of the console war is what it says there. It looks to me like it's a good old-fashioned Intellivision-looking object. We've got controllers, which are sweet. They look wireless. We're going to find more about that in a little bit. You got USB ports, and then port 1 and port 2 ports. That's interesting to me. And you've got an HDMI port sitting in there, plus lots of overlays. So, as many Intellivision fans throughout the years have seen, yes, indeed, there has been products that like this, the Intellivision flashbacks, of course, coming with wired controllers with overlay packages if you get the collector's edition or like those kind of things. So, it's neat to see all those kind of things. Let's go a little bit more and check this out a little bit more in the story here. All right, let's get in here and do that right there. The Intellivision Sprint, $149.99. It's not a bad price point for this device. It says here, the first Intellivision console brought to you by Atari. The Intellivision Sprint retains the authentic look and feel of the original, modernized with HDMI and wireless controllers, includes 45 built-in games including Boulder Dash and Shark, along with classic Intellivision sports games, strategy games, and more. Also includes overlays for each game. You can hit the pre-order button. If you're an Atari Club member, you can get 150 points when you pre-order this item, because, of course, you just get a point every dollar spent on the Atari Club. So, let's look at the picture wheel. We got the Astra Smash. Got a little controller there. You've got your reset and off and on buttons. Very classic looking, very Intellivision looking, as you would imagine. You got more auto racing, B-17 Bomber, which means there's IntelliVoice compatibility in there, looks like. Armor Battle, Sea Battle is the console itself. Looking pretty sweet, looking very Intellivision-y, very sleek. Got nothing on the sides, though. Nothing on the sides, so we're going to talk about that in a second. And of course, there's the controllers with the little lights on top. They're, clearly it's they're got to be wireless antenna things. And look at all those things. They look like Thunder Castles on there. You're looking like some Space Battle. You're looking at some Utopia. It looks like we've got some Thin Ice. We've got some Boulder Dash, of course. Some Night Stalker, some football, some Astra Smash, and then some other screens over here looking obviously some more games. We're going to check that out. So let's go through here. The console that sparked a console, the system that sparked a console war. It says, experience the other side of the console war. Released to compete with the Atari 2600, Intellivision challenged Atari's dominance in the living rooms, became a rivalry known as the First Console War. Intellivision offered players a more realistic sports and strategy games experience, richer graphics, and unique multi-input controllers for its 45th anniversary. 45 years, man. Wow. The Intellivision Sprint brings 45 of the system's best games back to the living room, now upgraded with HDMI and wireless controllers, something that's much needed in the feature set for some Intellivision fans. Now, obviously, less some of the other sets of the Intellivision. I think there was indeed a HDMI Intellivision flashback, unless you had to get it modded. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you had to get a modded one in order to get the HDMI, or if this is the first time the HDMI is now built into like a flashback device. But that is kind of cool. Play Boulder Dash in its first official Intellivision release, along with the classic favorites Baseball, Shark Shark, Astro Smash, and more. Each game comes with new overlays that map to the game's specific controls. You've got your feature set, 45 built-in games, including Balderdash, Shark Shark, and Baseball, and more. Easily connect to modern TVs and monitors with HDMI. 2 wireless controllers. Classic disc controllers have been updated to be wireless and rechargeable. Simply dock into the console to charge, which is kind of cool. Also very, very similar to other designs from Intellivision from past that we know about. Overlays for every game, each with new designs, including 2 overlays for each game's overlays are double-sided. They're double. Oh, that's cool. You can flip them. That's neat. USB-A port can connect original Intellivision 2 and N2 controllers. Oh, wait. You can connect the original Intellivision 2? Like just straight up? Like if you have an Intellivision 2, you can connect it to there using the USB port? And 2 controllers with adapter can also be used to play additional games sold separately. So more information is required about that statement. That USB-A port, if that's the way that they're sneaking in, like, hey, you can play your original Intellivision games, but you got to go and get an Intellivision 2, and you can play with the controllers, and with an adapter, like, connect it somehow, and then, what? Does that... We're going to have to look at more of that. That's a thing that I'm intrigued in, because that does say in the features list, there's not a cartridge port in this thing, which is a minor fail, because come on, guys, you have the Atari 2600 Plus and the 7800 Plus. This Sprint device could very well have been the Intellivision Plus, and you still get them the built-in games, and that's kind of fun too, but have the cartridge port or a way to play original cartridges, right? That's what I'm looking for, because I got a whole bunch of them out there I would love to play. So, availability. Pre-order today. It ships December 2025, so it's ready for the holiday season. Bingo bango. The package content includes the Intellivision Sprint console, 2 wireless controllers, 48 double-sided overlays, 45 built-in games, the USB adapter with the USB power adapter, AC adapter not included. Does that mean it's just a power cord? It's just a USB cable, I think, because the AC adapter isn't included. So you have to go get a brick to plug. I hate that. Can we just go back to like giving bricks with stuff, please? You know, it's not like, oh yeah, you've got 10,000 in your house. Yeah, well, but there might not be the right voltage. You might not be getting the right amperage for these things. You could like break your device by not using the right one. We found that out on the Evercade VS. Like, come on, guys, just put the little brick in there. All right, anyway, and an HDMI cable, and then you got your full games list. So that's pretty cool. You got Armor Battle. You've got Astro Smash, Auto Racing, B-17 Bomber, which again leads me to believe that there's IntelliVoice compatibility with that thing, or like maybe there's the thing built in. It's probably using JZI and TV, as an emulator. It's as an emulator box. So of course they would have support with that, but it's nice to see that that's there. Baseball, Body Slam, Super Pro Wrestling was a older or later release title. That's kind of rare. Bomb Squad, Boulder Dash Bowling, Buzz Bombers, Chip Shot Super Pro Golf, Deep Pocket Super Pro Pool and Billiards, Frog Bog Golf, Hover Force, King of the Mountain, which is pretty cool, Motocross, Mountain Madness, Super Pro Skiing, Night Stalker, Pinball, Reversey, Sea Battle, Shark, Slam Dunk, Super Pro Baseball, Slap Shot, Super Pro Hockey, Snafu, Soccer, Space Armada, Space Battle, Space Spartans, Spiker Pro, Super Pro Volleyball. It's awesome because that was, like, I think one of the last ones to come out. Super rare. So that's nice to see that included. Stadium Mud Buggies is another one that's really rare. Also nice that it's included there. Star Strike, Sub Hunt, Super Pro Decathlon, Super Pro Football, Takeover Tennis, Thin Ice, Thunder Castle, Tower of Doom. That's one of the Dungeons and Dragons titles that got a rename. Triple Action, Triple Challenge. So Triple Action is racing cars, biplanes, and battle tanks. Triple Challenge is chess, checkers, and backgammon. That's also another rare one in the collector's space. Utopia and Vectron, which is cool. A little weird and hard to play, but it is also cool. Things I'm not seeing on the list that would have been kind of cool. Well, no, we got all the space. We got Space Armada, Space Battle, Space Spartans, and then Star Strike. All right, so I mean, there actually isn't a lot of things, to be honest. There are tons of great Intellivision games that are third party. So, I mean, obviously you're not going to get those because not only do they not own the property, they probably don't own the release rights to that. So they have to renegotiate with, like, Data East for, Bump and Jump and all that kind of stuff. So, and on all the other thing, is Buzz Bombers on here? Yeah, Buzz Bombers is on here. So we got Buzz Bombers. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. What I thought I saw. Let me do this. I thought I saw that there was, like, something else. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there's some more stuff here. So authentic look, modern features. So you got your USB port here. You got your port 1, port 2, and then the sync buttons. So port 1, port 2, I think that's, like, those are for the controllers. On this USB port, I want to say that there's going to be an adapter that you can plug in something so you can actually get cartridges on this thing. If that is a thing, if they put out, like, either a cartridge module or a way to plug in something that you can play cartridges on this thing through it, then touchdown. It's got to happen, though. It's got to happen. Because this might be the only thing that Atari puts out as far as the Intellivision goes. And that's great. And it's almost there. But, man, do I want something to be able to play my original Intellivision cartridges on. Because that would be rad. 45 built-in games. We got wireless controllers. And that's about it. We got another video here, which we'll check out in just a second. All right, let's check this video out here. This is back in the 80s, a time known as the first console war. All right, maybe we'll have to go wide. This is a really, really wide video. I mean, it's cool that they're having this whole thing where you're, like, super evocative. We've got this here. We became friends. Hug it out. Hug it out. And there it is. Television Sprint. Cool. Now with HDMI. Very neat. Very neat. Controllers. I wonder if in the video are they going to say something about much like a I like the fact that there's it's pretty cool. It's neat. Again, $150, not bad. And there you go. And that's the That's the skinny on the Intellivision Sprint. You can hit this little pre-order button. 159 of your hard-earned ducats can go to getting this thing. And there you go. There you have it, folks. That's it. What do I think? I think I mean I'm the one person that, yeah, like I'm sure I'm not the only person in the Intellivision fandom that is looking at this device and is like, all right, sweet, awesome. Where do I put my cartridges though? I I'm positive. I'm positive that that is the case. You know, that people are looking for a way to play their carts because it's been the drumbeat. It's been the constant, like, unending drumbeat of the Intellivision fan. That's cool that you gave us a really slick looking flashback. Some of us have ultimate flashbacks that have every single Atari, not Atari, but Intellivision ROM on a device that is connected to you to HDMI. You know, I have an ultimate. I have an ultimate flashback, so I can play all of them, and that's kind of cool. But what we really want is what the Atari fans got. They got a system where you could literally just buy some carts and put them in, you know, and you guys are clearly interested in making new carts because the one that I just grabbed is a brand new cartridge by Atari, pressed in a factory and sent to you. So why would you not do that for Intellivision? And you might. I'm just not saying that that's not going to be a thing because there could be, oh hey, here's, did you not have Astro Smash or whatever? Here's brand new Astro Smash. Here's brand new Shark. Here's brand new Thunder Castle, Thin Ice, all that stuff. We're gonna reprint them. Get a nice little box with the thing and some more overlays in there and that kind of thing. If you want to have the piece of hardware, and you can plug it in using this brand new adapter that's going to cost XYZ. Also, when you're putting this out, I mean, who knows? The official announcement is early, so like, or not early. It's like this is an announcement, but at PGRE right now, they're not actually announcing this for another hour or two, I think. So I'm a little ahead of the game. So who knows? Maybe they will say, "Oh, hey, here's the Intellivision Sprint. Also, by the way, here's the Sprint Plus. You know, you buy it, it's $100 or $50 or whatever it is, and you plug it into the USB slot, and you put your cartridges in there, and the Sprint will recognize whatever it gets put in there. Like do a little ROM dump, kind of like Polymega kind of thing, and that could be a thing. All right, cool. Well, if this is a USB device, and this is something that is kind of like that, I wonder. Speaking of Polymega, if it was a USB device, I wonder if you could plug it in your Polymega using the USB port there and make it like a, you know, like do like a firmware where you could plug it in to maybe the module. I don't know, something. So you can get the 2,600 games or the 7,800 games when the new Atari module comes out. And they're like, oh yeah, if you're a Sprint owner, you could do this and you could play your Intellivisions on the Polymega too. Because there's wireless, whatever. And then you could just do the wireless remote thing or the Intellivision adapter. You could use your Intellivision 2 with it. Anyway, that's a bunny trail for another day. It's another story. But this is cool. It's cool. I mean, I'm going to grab one. Of course I'm going to grab one. But I'll probably only grab one. You know, because then, I mean, who knows? Maybe next year they're like, oh, we need to put out another piece of hardware. Here's finally the Intellivision Plus. So you get us all to get the Sprint, and then, you know, like, here's the one that you really wanted with the cartridge slot in it. And you're like, why didn't you do that before? Why doesn't the Sprint have a cartridge slot? I mean, many questions and more. Not that I'm complaining. It's cool. I'm an Intellivision fan. We get another Intellivision thing. It's HDMI. It's got a nice little sleek modern interface. It definitely looks like there's going to be some way of interfacing with older technology and this thing. That's very cool. All of those things are pluses. All of those things are positive. It looks like Atari is catering to the fans that want this older stuff. And that's me. So I'm in. And yeah, that's how I'm feeling about that. How do you guys feel though? Let me know down below in the comments what you feel about the story, what you feel about the announcement. Are you guys going to get one? Or you're not going to get one? You know, those kind of things. And we'll keep the conversation going. If we find out more about this adapter thing, I'll come back with another Newsline. We'll talk about that some more. It might be tomorrow, it might be next week, it might be next month, like when the thing's supposed to release or whatever, that they finally tell us about whatever is going to happen. I think it's going to probably come out over the weekend, because of course that's the first question all these Intellivision fans are going to ask. They're like, oh sweet, and it says like you can plug in an Intellivision 2, like the console, to this thing. Like, what does that mean? You can use your like cartridges, or use this as a bypass and then getting new ROMs in there? Like, why? How is this happening? How does this work? Let us know. And it could be, again, it's like, if you, the reason why we're doing this is because we can't put the licensed titles on there. But if you own the licensed titles and you put it in your system, because it's your game with your system, you can dump the ROM onto the Sprint, and then, like you can play it on that way. And that's it. I don't know if there's storage on this thing. Again, so many questions, but excitement, because it is kind of fun, and it'll be nice to have another one of these things to sit on the shelf and be able to play things. And like I said, though, if I'm able to plug in cartridges, then I can finally start doing like actual Fun for Fives on like the actual hardware that I own. I can go back down over there and start pulling games out of the Berserk bot I have over there, and start doing the I could already have done that on the Atari, but you guys get the picture. We could start playing some cool stuff, and it would be really neat. So anyway, more on that later, and we're getting out of here. But before we do, of course, we got to do the one thing and one thing only, and that is thank every single member of, you guessed it, the Good Times Club. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's thank the EverCanadian, also known as Empty Pixel Gaming. We've got to thank Crimson Cross, George Games, Chris Westerman, Phantom Fiction, Lloyd Jim, Papa Pete, the Intellivision Gamer, who must be happy right now, Ken LaCour, Mr. Shua, John Willig, Gunsy20, Herb Wars, DF, Joe Whitlash, David Valdez, Dan Nastic, Dr. Mark Mad Scientist, and the Atari Creep. He's probably even happy about this because, hey, it's more Gen 2 hardware. Let's go. Let's rock. So, hopefully, we'll hear from all of you guys in the GTC in the comments below. Hopefully, we will hear some other people wanting to join the GTC, because that'd be kind of fun. You get some exclusive content. Right now we're doing our NFL pick'ems, and of course you get the Good Times Club meeting. So that's a neat thing. Come on in, join us. It's a lot of fun. If not, that's okay. Leave likes, leave dislikes, leave comments for sure. Leave a subscription button on the way out, and of course the bell for notifications in case you want to see more of this face, bring more of your face, some more stuff when it happens. So that's what we do here on the Good Times Newsline. So until then, we will catch you next time for some good times. I'm Rich, and we will see you later. Take it easy, guys.
www.baconicecream.com.